Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Olatunji Bello. Many thanks for joining us, and do remember that you can watch the broadcast of this live on our social media handles and of course on our website www.nta.ng/live. Moving on, efforts by the federal government to improve the standard of living of the people of Sokoto State and cushion the effect of subsidy removal are being intensified as Vice President Shatima flags off the distribution of vehicles in Sokoto State to aid public transportation. Also inaugurated by the Vice President were palliatives to cushion the effects of subsidy removal. The Vice President said the Renewed Hope pledge is a promise with a human face.
We were here for the campaigns in this Giginya Memorial Stadium, and the President made a commitment that inshallah when elected, he will work day and night to promote the welfare of the Nigerian citizenry. He's a leader with a great deal of empathy, a leader imbued with a great deal of passion and compassion, a leader who sleeps with the people of Nigeria at heart and wakes up with the people of Nigeria at heart. The government is coming up with very robust programs to ameliorate the sufferings of the Nigerian people, and wish once again to commend the governor of Sokoto State, the leader of the Northwest, and the government of Sokoto for all these wonderful initiatives.
On to security matters. In view of the capital-intensive nature of military training, Nigeria says it will continue to tap the knowledge of its military reserves in the ongoing efforts to further secure the nation. Former Chief of Army Staff and Minister of Interior Abdurrahman Dambazel stressed this at an event organized by members of the Nigerian Defense Academy, 50 regular corps. He said emerging security challenges are complex and requires a multifaceted approach to combat.
I can attest that your work is only beginning, as the country will continue to count on your intellect, leadership, and problem-solving skills to resolve the challenges that confront us. Your experiences, insights, and practical wisdom remain invaluable assets that can help shape the next generation of leaders, thinkers, and change makers. This task is lifelong endeavor.
What we are trained to do is to invest all the knowledge we have garnered and ensure that we employ it in all theaters of operation, both within and outside the country. And so it is not in any doubt that we are going to make sure that in whatever condition or in whatever situation, all lawful orders are given to us, we carry them out to the latter.
Earlier, a physical fitness exercise was also held to keep officers and soldiers in shape and combat ready. The organizers enjoined the public to support the military with information and a renewed drive against criminality across the country. Now to infrastructure development, the federal government has given assurance that the Niger Delta region will witness massive infrastructure and sustainable development under the Tinubu administration. Minister of Niger Delta Development, Obakaman, was to this at a reception in honor of the majority leader of the House of Representatives, Professor Julius Ihonvere, organized by the Onwan community in Abuja. National Assembly correspondent Mitai Rapen tells us more.
Lawmakers and government functionaries, past and present, especially from Owan Federal Constituency in Edo State, are gathered here celebrating the emergence of Professor Julius Ihonvere as leader of the 10th House of Representatives, with the culture of the Owan people on display.
On behalf of Owan,
describing Professor Ihonvere as an impeccable administrator and lawmaker, Minister of Niger Delta Development, Abubakar Momo, uses the occasion to galvanize support for the region's growth.
All of us at this very level, at the national level, we put our hands together to make sure that the East-West Road, which is the major road traversing the 6 states of South, see the light of the day.
We are proud of him. He's made marks all over the place.
We are going to be available to you across party lines to give you all the support you need.
And his intelligence, that's what has been carrying him on. And it's a material for any office, any day.
A lot of things he has done for the One Nation. That gave me the zeal to go to him. It was not actually just as he said. He said he was no longer doing it. But we convinced him.
When you continue to eulogize excellence, then it means that you are now putting excellence ahead of any other consideration in the society. And that is exactly what has happened to him.
In appreciation of the honor accorded him, Professor Ihonwiri shares his thoughts about elevating Nigeria's democracy.
There are many challenges within and without, and it's only by working together, recognizing that strength and that power of our people, that we can bring about the changes. Thank you very much.
In Abuja, meet Tyre Ikben, NTA News.
And on girl-child education, with the support of the World Bank, the federal government-assisted program on adolescent girls initiative for learning and empowerment, supporting educational recovery in Borno, is making significant progress towards educating the girl child in the post-insurgency recovery phase in Borno. These positive developments are impacting the lives of hundreds of families across the state, with a projection ensuring education for over 100,000 girls in the next few years. Pauline Kujivana has the details.
Adolescence period is a critical stage in girls' lives that requires a lot of mentorship and positive advice and education to help shape their future. Therefore, the introduction of Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment, Agile project by federal government, is aimed at creating opportunities for girls to have access to education in a state recovering from conflict where teaching and learning became major victim.
The Adolescent Girls Child Initiative for Learning and Empowerment, Agile, is supposed to target 50,000 girls in Borno State. So far, we are in the neighborhood of 20,000. Agile has built so many digital centers in some of the schools and will soon start putting them into effect, and they are training them on numerous kinds of life skills. So far, it's a God-sent program. It's doing very, very well.
Agile in Borno, under the Ministry of Education, uses secondary school as a platform to empower girls through education, life skills, health education to include nutrition and reproductive health, GBV awareness and prevention, negotiation skills, self-agency, and digital literacy skills.
One of the things that the project put in place is to upgrade most of the junior secondary school to senior secondary school so that the adolescent girls can transit easily and also reducing the risk of falling into GBV. The Chibok girls' experience have really discouraged parents from sending their wards to school, especially the adolescent girls. But with the Agile project, the government have done a lot in trying to mitigate the issue of the Chibok girls' experience, especially where the Ministry of Education have now converted most of the schools today.
The introduction of life skills and livelihood training in school for adolescent girls will further ensure enrollment, retention, and completion of secondary school, which is the minimum requirement, especially in Borno, where poverty, tradition, and Boko Haram insurgency are significant deterrent to girls' education. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
And standing by in Maiduguri is Abubakar Musa to tell us more about the tripartite educational intervention advancing the cause of adolescent girls' access to quality education in a state with unique challenges. Abubakar, can you tell us more about these timely, life-changing educational support and changes it is making in this vital sector?
Thank you very much, Olajide. Before the introduction of the Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment, that's talking about Agile, a significant proportion of girls in Borno that were supposed to acquire Western education were actually not in school, though the more than a decade-long Boko Haram crisis was a major contributory factor to that setback, coupled with some religious, cultural, and financial challenges. However, when the Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment came on board in the year 2020, the situation changed for the better. An appreciable number of girls in Borno are now showing unprecedented enthusiasm in going to school. And this development may not be unconnected with the series of incentives being provided to them by the Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment. As I speak to you right now, 42,147 female students across Borno State are expected to benefit from a financial incentive of more than 600 million naira for learners of junior and senior class to complete first and second term sessions. This is actually an initiative of the federal and state governments with the support of the World Bank. And the idea is in continuation of disbursement of funds to ensure transition and retention of the girl child in school towards acquiring secondary education. Okay, to speak to us further on this is the Borno State Project Coordinator of Agile, Ibrahim Baba. Sir, can you tell us something entirely different from what I just talked about?
Well, Agile project was initiated in Borno in 2022 like any other state. Then the project implementation will commence in 2022. And along the line, we participated to see that all our secondary schools are renovated and create additional safe and inclusive schools to our populace in this state.
All right. Yeah. Okay, so what more can you tell us aside this?
We are able to renovate over 284 secondary schools under the small grant, and also we renovate 108 secondary schools under the large grant. We are also able to disburse a grant to adolescent girls of 42,000 and above to complete the first and second cohort, to complete the first cycle of the first and second cohort.
All right.
Yes, and we also train our SBMC members, teachers, and other educational stakeholders to see that the process of this project has achieved in this state.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So is the person you want to talk further?
Well, I also want to thank His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, the World Bank, and the Federal Ministry of Education for giving more support to projects to succeed. And we are having the support also from the State Ministry of Education and its agencies to see that the projects have implemented according to the guideline given to the project.
Okay. We appreciate you so much for being part of Nationwide today. Well, it is also worthy to note that the activities of Agile generally in Borno State are receiving wider acceptability from traditional leaders and members of the larger society. Olajide, is back to you now.
Many thanks, Abubakar Musa there from Maiduguri, for keeping us up to speed. Now, reports just reaching us has that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and President of the United Arab Emirates, Mohammed bin Zayed, Monday in Abu Dhabi have finalized a historic agreement which has resulted in the immediate cessation of the visa ban placed on Nigerian travelers. Furthermore, by this historic agreement, both Etihad Airlines and Emirates Airlines are to immediately resume flights scheduled into and out of Nigeria without any further delay. As negotiated between the two heads of state, the immediate restoration of flight activity through these two airlines and between the two countries does not involve any immediate payments by the Nigerian government. In recognition of President Tinubu's economic development diplomacy drive and proposals today presented by President Tinubu to his counterpart, an agreed framework has been established which will involve several billions of US dollars worth of new investments into the Nigerian economy across multiple sectors, including defense, agriculture, and others by the investment arm of the government of the United Arab Emirates. Additionally, President Tinubu is pleased to have successfully negotiated a joint new foreign exchange liquidity program between the two governments, which will be announced in detail in the coming weeks. In conclusion, the President wishes to commend the UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed for his unalloyed friendship and his determination to join hands with him to fully normalize and reset to excellence the standard of relationship between the two important countries. Back home, the federal government is working towards ensuring that all road infrastructure in the country are motorable and road projects completed according to specified standard. Minister of Works David Umahi revealed this when he inspected federal highway projects in Anambra State and the second Niger Bridge. Joy Olegu has details.
The visit is to get a clear picture of federal road infrastructure in the state, challenges and targets to be met. Accompanied by top officials of the ministry, the minister made his first stop on the Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, a critical highway that connects the southeast to other parts of the country. Other roads projects inspected include the Oye-Oranto Road, Otuocha-Ibaji Road Project, Oba-Oga-Akokwa Road, and the Obarojeni, where gully erosion has cut off the road.
And if we divert the drainage, then we can fill back here to protect the second lane, depending when the road is over. And the solution is to do piling of the two sides.
At the second Niger Bridge, the minister appeared satisfied with work done by the contractor, but called for private partnership to develop the area.
I'm also reviewing a number of projects to see which way we can also cut money from and then be able to assist other projects.
Earlier, the minister paid a visit to the Anambra State Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, where he revealed plans to redesign some of the road projects with rigid pavement.
I'm so excited about the point you made that even within the first few days of getting into that, you're really coming up with new ways of delivering this and maintaining it.
The two-day inspection is part of the minister's concluding visit of federal highways infrastructure in the southeast region. In Oka, Joy Iluebu, NTA News.
Ondo is ranked the second largest cocoa producing state in Nigeria. The state is also blessed with abundant mineral resources such that are potentials for economic prosperity. Conversely, these resources have not been fully exploited nor translated to economic fortune as the state still depends largely on federal allocation augmented by paltry internally generated revenue. How can the state harness all these mineral and agricultural resources to significantly turn around the fortune of the Sunshine State? This is the focus of our interaction with the State Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget. But before we join him in Akure, let's take this report by Tony Batire.
Ondo State is one of the 36 states in Nigeria that is blessed with abundant natural resources like bitumen, oil and gas, including cash crops, especially cocoa and tree crops. The state, no doubt, has contributed its quota to the economic development of the country. Over the years, all these economic potentials have been used for the benefit of the state and its citizens, while many are yet untapped. It is against this backdrop that Ondo State government, in compliance with the provisions of the Fiscal Responsibility Law 2017, commenced the process of charting a clear path that will not only address the present-day challenges, but provide the highway for accelerated development.
As a state, we should be able to have a long-term dream of the type of Ondo State we want to see in 30 years' time. In the areas of education, in the areas of health, the people generally, because development is about people.
The long-term infrastructural development plan, which has been designed in collaboration with the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, as its core objective of galvanizing citizens and friends of Ondo State to collectively set the policy direction for adequate and accelerated exploration of the abundant natural resources across the 18 local government areas of the state.
It's a very good agenda. That is, we are futuristic, looking forward to what will happen.
That is what should be done always, so that there will be consistency.
The initiative will touch all sectors, including agriculture, gold mining, education, security, health policies, and an enabling business environment. In Akure, Toyin Batire, NTA News.
We now join Toyin Batire, who will tell us more about the state's 30 years development plan. Toyin, over to you.
Thank you very much, Studio. As rightly put in that report, Ondo State is ranked 7th biggest economy in Nigeria because it possesses numerous natural resources. That is why Ondo State government recently designed the 30-year development plan, tagged Ondo 2054, to harness these resources for prosperous economy, human capital development, and infrastructural growth. As I'm speaking to you, at the moment, a technical committee has been set up to look into how this plan can be achieved and it can be effective. Also, I beg your pardon. Also, a need assessment has been conducted across the 18 local government areas of the state to highlight core areas that really need development. As I'm speaking with you, I have with me the Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, in person of Pastor Emmanuel Igbasan, that will be telling us more on the importance of this plan. Sir, please, can you tell us what this plan is set to achieve?
Thank you. Good afternoon, viewers at home. Agenda 2054 is about harnessing the economic and fiscal potentials of our state, Ondo State, for a sustainable development. A sustainable development mantra entails that we'll be able to meet our current needs and also leave something behind for the generation next. God has blessed us with a tremendous natural endowments. We have a lot of minerals cutting across every sector of our economy, right from the northern senatorial zone to the southern senatorial zone, which open into the Atlantic, making it possible for us to have what we can call the real deep sea port in the whole of Africa. Most of the seaport you will see around Nigeria and Africa, they are river ports. They need to be dredged to be able to accommodate ships that will bring something. But those states can boast of between 18 to 24 natural draft meters that can accommodate mother boats. So we want to turn it to prosperity for us and for the generation next. That is why we said we have this great potential in terms of mineral deposit, in terms of geographical location, in terms of vegetation, in terms of favorable human capital within the state, because you want to develop a nation, you develop the people. So what we pride most in Ondo State is the number of our people who have the tenacity, the industry, the enterprise to excel in any area they find themselves. We want to harness all this to ensure that we have a shared prosperity for all.
Thank you very much. The plan is also open to contributions and inputs of stakeholders. Back to you, Olajide Bello.
Many thanks, Toyin Batire there from Akure, keeping us up to speed with the 30-year development plan by the Ondo State government. Nigeria, like other developing countries, is not immune to making mistakes, and such mistakes should not be used to discredit the nation. Leadership experts gave the advice at an event in Abuja.
As a country, we have made mistakes in the past. And I want each and every one of us to stop thinking about the past mistakes we have made as a nation. Can we begin to think about reinventing this country Can we begin to talk about the future of this country? Can we begin to develop smart and quality vision that each and every one of us can contribute in our own little way to ensure that this country becomes the best it can ever be. We have no other country.
We are taking this learning that we have had to go through for 5 days and taking it into our corporate spaces. And for some of us who are also in the journalism field and in the broadcast field, such as myself, I understand the need to also emotionally, intellectually begin to engage in discussions so as to get the best of effective interventions in our social space.
Now let's head to the Center of Excellence where Hingino is standing by with more stories. Hingino.
Thank you, Olajide. With a view of sustaining the various successes recorded in recent times, the Nigerian Army College of Logistics has again conducted a 9-day training for senior leadership and staff officers targeted at developing students' understanding of the ways military capacity can be applied to achieving operational objectives in tackling Nigeria's contemporary security challenges. Diana Ajali reports.
Come rain or shine, the Nigerian Army are always in the forefront to ensure the nation's citizens and property remain safe.
Let's go! Let's go!
Achieving this core mandate, the Army believes consistent training of its personnel is paramount in the fight against security challenges bedeviling the country.
You are to disrupt liberation forces activities.
This capacity building for senior leadership and staff officers course 1 in 2023 by the Nigerian Army College of Logistics and Management, tagged Exercise Kakute Ekun, is therefore aimed at consolidating students' understanding on the application of military engagement in a joint and multi-agency environment and its practical application at the tactical level. It is also to expose the students to techniques of manual and electronic wargaming, amongst others. General Officer Commanding 81 Division, Major General Muhammad Usman, who was represented by the Acting Commandant, Nigerian Army College of Logistics and Management, urged the students to utilize the knowledge gained from the training.
The only area that we need to work hard is contextual understanding. What really are you doing? At what level? At the point I was confused. Are we at the company level or at the theater level?
106 senior officers are currently undergoing the training in Lagos. Diana Ajale, NTA News.
12 female practicing journalists selected from the print, online and broadcast media across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country and trained by the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism have been inducted into the Female Reporters Leadership Program Fellowship in Lagos. Ese Onwamaka reports that these new fellows were assessed on the quality of their reportage on critical issues affecting women and girls in Nigeria.
In order to bridge the gap and encourage gender inclusivity in the journalism profession, stakeholders at the 5th Fellowship Induction and Award by the Female Reporters Leadership Program advocate the need for female journalists to be at the forefront in advancing the cause of the journalism profession.
I believe that the media must show example by also leading, by making women leaders of the newsroom.
One of the newly inducted 12 fellows, Fortunate Ozo, who is a reporter, newscaster, producer and editor at NTA Abakaliki, amongst others, demonstrated leadership and investigative prowess through enchanting story projects and issues relating to women and girls in Nigeria.
Because of this project, I have come to see the things I've not really been opened up to since I started working as a journalist.
It was really intensive, a whole lot, investigations, women, how you should work to drive impact, what your work should be all about.
It is believed that these fellows have been armed with requisite skills and knowledge during the 6 months of rigorous training and exercise on investigative journalism to champion women's leadership in the newsroom.
They should go to the next step. They should not end in this classroom. It would be nice if they can link up with government at the federal level to see the results and the outcome of the projects we have just witness.
You understand the burden that society places on you to tell those stories that will be enchanting, that will be captivating, and at the end of the day will write your name in indelible ink.
The newly inducted fellows were also presented with gift awards. The Female Reporters Leadership Program, an initiative of the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism, was designed to equip female reporters with leadership skills to prepare them for leadership capacities in the journalism profession. In Lagos, S.A. Owamaka, NTA News.
Be reminded that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen. Benin is standing by with the next set of reports after the break. Do stay.
Our commitment is to promote the greatest good for the greatest number of our people. On principle, we shall never falter. We will get out of this turbulence. And due to the measures we have taken, Nigeria will be better equipped and able to take advantage of the future that awaits her.
When you think about hospitality and affordable luxury away from home, then you talk about Sharon Ultimate Hotels, a secured and serene environment that offers kingly services such as 24-hour room service, impeccable security with CCTV surveillance, parking lots, free Wi-Fi internet service, free complimentary breakfast, restaurants that offers continental and local dishes, well-equipped fitness center with instructors, swimming pool, 350 capacity multi-purpose hall, laundry service, pastry corner, mini mart, and our suites are breathtaking. For reservation, locate us at plot 1710, Tafawa Balewa Way, Area 3, Garikia, Abuja. Sharon Ultimate Hotels, the ultimate place.
I'm fascinated with the discourse on national monuments and assets and how much is being done to preserve and
look into the language issue. We have turned English to become like a pride value in our own cultural values.
It's not cash transfer. It's not a COVID-19.
Invasion 1897 was a deliberate
many of these people coming to the urban areas now.
And applications, there are terms and conditions that
of course it is the union of two people, a man and a woman coming together.
My name is Nnamdi Odiko.
And I'm Elizabeth Omori.
We must all join hands to work hard so that we build a country for our grandchildren.
My hope is that we develop this nation where every citizen is given his due right. There is transparency, honesty, and integrity.
Put the interests of this country first and foremost. Interest of Nigeria is being one nation, one people.
The need, if I mean, to put things right, things that have gone wrong before, to try and put right, for this, for the love of country.
Nationwide, and we are in the heartbeat of the nation. Now, Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has flagged off free bus service for passengers on all Edo City transport routes to alleviate the adverse effects of fuel subsidy removal on the residents in the state. Goodluck Enaini, who captured the takeoff of the exercise in Benin City, now reports.
Free transportation service put in place by the Edo State government is to cushion the effects of the removal of subsidy by the federal government. This, according to the state government, will last up to November 11th. Citizens of Edo State will, in the next 2 months, enjoy the free bus service, just as the Commissioner for Communication and Orientation, Chris Nahihari, flags off the exercise on behalf of the state governor, Godwin Obaseki.
The state government takes the welfare of Edo people very seriously, and this is just one of the many ways.
A visit to the ECTS bus terminal at King's Square and at Ramat Park revealed a hive of activity. Some of the commuters, who before now spend over 50% of their income on transportation, lauded the initiative.
People they like it. People they pray for this.
We heard it that it's going to be free transport, but we never expected that it's going to exceed within Benin.
We are looking forward to more of this time.
Never seen free bus once. I'm very excited.
I was surprised when they said free bus.
While the fare service conveys commuters from 8 a.m. daily, ECTS terminals on Forestry Road and Ramat Park will commence operation to Uzeba and Utuo in Owa at 2 p.m. as well as from ECTS Ramat Park to Auchi, Igara, Ososo, Ibilo, Ubiaja, Uromi, Ewato, Ewoimad, Abudu, with departure time at 8 a.m. The gesture will last for 2 months and may probably be extended. In Benin, Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
Schools have resumed for the new academic session, and prior to this, parents and guardians thronged various markets in Benin City to shop for educational materials. Anguli Okolo has been visiting such business districts for situation reports.
Many stores visited in Benin City carried a wide selection of educational materials and other items, which they displayed for parents and guardians to buy for their children in preparation for school resumption. NTA News Crew observed that these materials are expensive compared to last year September, when prices of school items were relatively affordable. For now, an average school bag costs 5,000 naira, depending on the quality, while a set of 40 leaves notebook costs 1,700 naira. Prices of other items like pencils, pens, shoes, among others, are also considered expensive, as parents struggled to buy little snacks and things their money could buy.
Ordinary lunch box is 3,000.
A pack of 60 leaves is 2,200.
We are buying 2,500 before, but they say 3,000 last week.
For 80 leaves. I can't buy books. Books now, buy last 2 months. I buy 1,800. Now I come here now, they say 3,002. Choose ones 1 madam. Choose one that 1,300 before.
The carton, it was 5,000 before, but now it's 5,200.
It's very expensive. Oh. Everything in the market now is oh. Before it's 1,200, now they say it's 1,700. We don't have any choice not to buy it.
Before 1,120, but the price in the market, the current price now is 1,400.
Parents are hopeful that the little materials they can purchase will serve their children this session as cost of items subsides. In Benin, Anguli Okolo, NTA News.
We are done from here. Olajide, it's back to you.
Many thanks, Agochikuka from our Benin Network Center. Now to Health Matters, key players from the health sector and disability community working together to promote good mental health challenge, the exclusion of people with psychosocial disabilities and strengthen mental health systems as part of a comprehensive approach to well-being and inclusion. Gufanshaji Ugwai reports.
Mental health problems have been described as cause of disability worldwide. People living with mental health problems and psychological disability face stigma, discrimination, and a range of abuses of human rights, including exclusion from work, community life, and even the right to make important decisions for themselves. Christian Blood Mission Global, CBM, and partners are seeking solutions to the exclusion with their programs for vulnerable persons living with psychological disabilities.
For this project is to support government and civil society actors to achieve the mental health objectives in the Nigeria NTD Master Plan and to share this learning in the West African region. The Leprosy Mission Nigeria will be implementing in Kwali and Bwari area councils of the Federal Capital Territory.
And we want to get more people accessing to the mental health services and the skin NTDs. It's very important, the commitment of the government also.
CBM Global believes that with the right medical, psychological, and social support, people with psychological disabilities can recover to lead the fulfilling lives they want and contribute to their communities. In Abuja, Gufanshaji Ogwanyi, NTA News.
Now, globally, nurses have remained the backbone of health sectors, and their complementary roles in delivering health care cannot be ignored. So Nigerian nurses are advocating periodical training, higher remuneration, and inclusion in policy making for them to thrive in their profession. Elizabeth Amori reports that these were highlighted at the third scientific conference commemorating 2023 Nurses Week in Abuja by the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives.
The first point of call is the nurse. As the baby is being born, she sees the nurse first. When somebody is dying, he sees the nurse last.
Joyce has been practicing the nursing profession since 1994, and helping the sick recover remains paramount. But there are challenges. Meeting the health needs of the great number of patients, they say, remains Herculean as a nurse.
Imagine a patient, we have about almost 24 patients to only one nurse in a ward. I mean, how effective do you think that nurse will discharge her duty or his duty? So we need employment.
Nursing in Nigeria is still a growing profession, and gradually we are putting things in place, bringing out strategies that will harmonize the training.
Mentorship, professionalism, brain drain, and improved welfare were part of issues raised.
The nurses can form themselves as cooperative so that when you are doing nursing, the World Bank will equally come and support you in business. These are some of the things we are planning. Every organization to talk to themselves, to cooperatives. Let us have a side thing we are doing to help our families.
They are optimistic that with the Tinubu administration, their needs will be met. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Now let's head to Lagos, where our correspondent Amaka Awa is standing by at the residence of Chief Akitola Williams, Nigeria's first chartered accountant, who passed away today at the age of 104 years. Amaka, what can you tell us?
Okay, thank you very much. Right here at the residence, number 17 Elevere, we've seen a few numbers of sympathizers coming in. It's a bit scanty though, but we have the presence of media journalists on ground. Yeah, so the situation right here is such that...
Amaka, can someone from the family
situation
talk to us, or can any of the guests who is very close to you say one or two things about the deceased. Okay, I guess we're having issues with Amaka there, so we would re-establish contact with her when we have surmounted that challenge. Now, to ensure a quick and efficient response to humanitarian and poverty challenges in Nigeria, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation is coming up with a plan to spread democracy dividends across the 774 local government areas of the country. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Dr. Betta Edu, while speaking on NTA's flagship program, Good Morning Nigeria, said this is part of efforts at understanding what is on ground for more innovation and specific policies, as well as attract the cooperation of stakeholders. Lydia Sampson reports.
That the enormous task ahead of the Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation Minister is enormous is not in doubt. This is because of the growing numbers of people displaced or pushed into poverty by natural and man-made causes such as banditry attacks and displacement, among others. Dr. Betta Edu is coming on board as minister with determination to tackle head-on the challenges by deploying inclusive, cross-cutting collaboration between key players.
What we're going round to do right now is actually see what is on ground. What are we taking over in terms of the humanitarian space? What's the situation on ground? Presently, we have over 16 million Nigerians that are affected by humanitarian crisis, directly or indirectly. So the families are displaced. We have persons who are refugees in Nigeria. We also have persons of concern in different areas of Nigeria. Some of them, of course, are by natural disaster like the flooding, drought, drying of the Lake Chad Basin, as well as other natural disasters. And then the other ones are man-made, the insurgents, banditry, kidnapping, communal clashes, and the rest of it.
Guests who joined the conversation urged the minister to ensure the principles of humanitarian intervention are upheld in the enormous task ahead of the minister and the ministry.
Without adequate numbers, this is why data is important, and data not just about the social register, it's also about assessing the needs in every state, because they may differ. Understanding what the issues are in every state, and then getting the people in that state to engage with you and setting up teams, building their capacity to be able to engage with the issues and prevention, as you mentioned, very, very important.
Focus on output will help you to know how far you are going and how you are achieving your goals. And that means that right from the word go, even though you mention them generally, you still need a strategic document that gives you a roadmap. So all these things, how they are moving, because the work is enormous.
The guests are on the same page on the need for working towards long-lasting solution, especially prevention of man-made disasters occasioned by insecurity and intolerance. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And over now to Kemi in Ibadan with more stories on Nationwide. Kemi.
Olatunji, and welcome to Ibadan. The federal government, through the Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute, has trained and empowered no fewer than 120 youths, women, and artisans from Yewa North, Imekwa for federal constituency in different skills acquisition programs. Director General, Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute, Professor Samson Duna, who supervised the training, says it is meant to enhance professionalism and economic growth. Lukman Adefeso's report is presented in this package.
These tools, I've been planning to get it before, but thank God I've had now opportunity of getting it here. So I'm so happy.
For Arowolo, before now, struggle with menial jobs and depends on the tokens from people. But today, the situation has changed. This is because of the skills he has acquired through the 5-day skills acquisition program organized by the federal government through the Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute, Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. The Director General, Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute, Professor Samson Duna, explained that the training was part of the agency's mandate in line with the building construction to checkmate quackery and to ensure that Nigerians are well equipped to be more involved in construction work as against hiring of artisans from neighboring countries.
We have discovered over time that our people are not very keen in learning these trades very well. So on the basis of that, we do empowerment program, we do training to make sure that our artisans are well trained.
One cannot solely depend on white-collar jobs again. So that makes this training very, very important.
The participants were also enjoined to always make the best use of the training with integrity as their watchword.
2,500 liters of adulterated automatic transmission fluid alongside varieties of vehicle lubricants have been seized by the men of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Oyo State Command. Grace Ayoleke was at the location of the illegal factory and filed this report.
It's doomsday for Golden Links Petroleum Limited, producing automatic transmission fluid ATF 406, grease and other mechanical fluid without license. Conducting officers and men of the Corps around the facility, the suspect claims that he has what it takes to produce the product.
I registered this name and I want to do it right. I went some relevant get information on what I want to do, but some of them have not replied me and I'm just doing it.
Witnessing firsthand the procedures, Commandant NSCDC Oyo State condemned the crude production process, encouraging the public to be mindful of the products they use for their vehicles and machineries.
The environment is so unkept, so untidy, and production of this fake product is posing health challenges even to the people living around here.
Meanwhile, the impounded products have been sent to the laboratory for further investigation and the factory premises sealed from subsequent productions. In Ibadan, Grace Ayonleke, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. Olajide, it's back to you.
Many thanks, Kemi, from our Ibadan Network Center. Moving on, and what can be seen as taking responsibility with seriousness few weeks into office, Minister of Education has directed Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Oye-Ekiti to uncover the perpetrators of murder of a nursing student in the institution, Ms. Atondamo Dupe. The minister handed down the directive at the 2021-2022 Nigerian Annual Education Conference in Abuja. Abdullahi Musa Suleja reports.
The annual education conference was conceived by the ministry in collaboration with its development partners and other stakeholders to constantly renew the country's effort to ensure improved access to high-quality education with an effective delivery system. Many may ask, why 2023 and 2022, when 2023 is coming to an end? The year 2022 through 2021 were constrained by the COVID-19 pandemic, battling with recovery and returning the school calendar to the normal. The conference, however, is coming with the renewed hope of the government, and so the renewed hope is assured in this conference.
We want to bridge that gap between the policy statements and the actualization. I always want to see outcomes.
Nigerians are waiting to see how this hope will be realized. Elsewhere within the ministry, stakeholders in the education sector have been reminded of a responsibility of taking protection of schools and educational facilities in the country as a shared responsibility and a collective commitment to safeguard the future of Nigeria. This is at an event to commemorate the 2023 International Day to Protect Education from Attack.
School attack inflicts fear to every child, resulting in increased school dropout, diminished enrollment, and compromised educational quality.
United Nations member states in September every year highlight the issue of safeguarding education against acts of violence and disruption. Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
Now let's re-establish contact with Amaka in Lagos, who will keep us up to speed with happenings in Chief Akintola Williams' house. So Amaka, what can you What can you tell us at the moment?
Oh, thank you, Olajide. Right here, we sympathizers coming in, a few number here, and we also have the presence of journalists, of course, who are here to also gather stories to update, their esteemed audience. So it's indeed the end of an era. We have lost one of the greatest of all times, Pa Akintola Williams, at the age of 104. He died in the early hours of the day. So I spoke with his daughter previously, before now, and she said she would need some time, before speaking to the press. They urge us to respect their privacy. So, but right here we have some early sympathizers who are here to sign the condolence register and pay their condolences. We know that he was the greatest of all times. He was the doyen of the accounting profession in Nigeria, having studied banking and finance, where he graduated from the University of London in 1946. He came back and served the government in various capacities. He also established one of the greatest and largest accounting firms in Nigeria, the accounting Akintola Williams and Co., which is now the Deloitte. So I also have with me Mekanwo Kedi. He said Pa Akintola Williams also contributed to the establishment of the Music Society of Nigeria, not just known as the doing of accounting profession, but all the aspects of life. So, Sir Nwokedi, so how would you describe Pa Akintola Williams?
Well, Akintola Williams is a great Nigerian. He contributed so much to growth in many areas, not only in accountancy, his area, but he also went into developing one of the greatest arts institutions in Nigeria, which is the Musical Society of Nigeria. It was he and a few other people that came together and attracted funds from companies to build that society. It was, yeah.
So I'm so sorry, that's the much we can take because we're running out of time. Thank you very much. And so we'll keep you updated with developments about his demise. Thank you. It's over to you, Olajide, back for the continuation of Nationwide. Thank you. That's the much we can take from here. Thank you.
Many thanks, Amaka, for that update. Moving on, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has felicitated with the Esama of Benin, Sir Gabriel Igbinedion, on his 89th birthday while saluting the renowned industrialist and philanthropist for his willingness to create opportunities for the growth of others in business and philanthropy. In a statement by his special advisor on media and productivity, Nigerian Galani, President Tinubu noted the huge difference Chief Igbinedion has made in the Nigerian economy and human development. He prayed for a more robust health for the industrialists to further contribute to national development. And that concludes Nationwide. Many thanks for being a part of it. I am Olajide Bello.